What if Nietzsche's philosophy wasn't just a theory you read in a book, but the actual script for a dark cosmic thriller? Well, that's what we're diving into today. A modern retelling of his ideas, but twisted into this high-stakes wager for the very soul of humanity. And it all kicks off with this chilling warning from Zarathustra. But this isn't just a quote, you see. It's a diagnosis. It's a prophecy of what we could all become if we lose our way. This one line sets the stakes for the entire story we're about to unpack. So at its absolute core, this story presents us with a choice, a fundamental choice. It's a diagnosis of humanity's two possible destinies. Think of it like a fork in the road, with some seriously profound consequences depending on which path we take. And here's that choice, laid out plain as day. On one side, you've got the last man. This is the bleak spectacle, a creature of pure comfort, always seeking a tiny, risk-free life. But on the other side, you have the path of the will to power, a philosophy of creative struggle, of actually embracing difficulty to become something more. One path is a tiny flicker, the other is a roaring blaze. Okay, but this path of self-overcoming, it's not meant to be a solo journey. Zarathustra has these two symbolic companions who represent the perfect balance you need for the trip. And trust me, understanding them is absolutely crucial to seeing how this beautiful ideal gets so horribly corrupted. And here they are, the eagle and the serpent. The eagle, right? That's your soaring pride, that high aspiration to be more than you are. But that kind of pride, it needs to be grounded. And that's where the serpent comes in, with its earthy wisdom, its cunning. It's never about choosing one over the other. True greatness needs both. This right here, this is the ideal. Remember it. But what if you could just skip the struggle? What if there was a shortcut, a cheat code to becoming a god? This is where our story's Faustian bargain enters the picture, offering this deceptive cure for humanity's deepest fears, an amoral engine promising incredible power with none of the work. So our story starts with this guy, Dr. Johannes Faust. He's a scholar, but he's totally burned out. His motivation isn't greed. It's not really power in the way you'd think. No, his terror is completely philosophical. He has seen the abyss of the last man, that comfortable, meaningless existence, and he will do literally anything to avoid falling into it. And who answers his desperate call? Well, it's not some demon with horns. It's Mr. Sinos. He's the modern Mephistopheles, the spirit who denies. But he's wearing a corporate suit. He is institutionalized nihilism, the belief that everything is meaningless, now neatly packaged and sold like a business strategy. He's not trading in souls, he's trading in ethics, in independence, all to prove his cynical wager, that will always choose the easy lie over the hard truth. And the result of this unholy bargain, is the Overman. He's the physical manifestation of the Übermensch. His footfalls are said to sound like thunder. But he's a monster, a complete paradox. He has the power of a god, but his entire being is built on a philosophy of negation, on a foundational philosophical lie. When you get right down to it, the deal is basically a corporate transaction. The scholar gets access to something called the miracle man mechanism. It's this technology that can basically force evolution. And in return, he signs away his ethical self, his independence, his soul, really. It's a cheap cheat to godhood that completely bypasses the entire point of the journey. And now we get to see how this Faustian sickness just infects everything. And it starts with Zarathustra's noble companions. The Overman becomes this walking, talking perversion of both the eagle and the serpent. So first, let's talk about the eagle. Its soaring pride, which was supposed to be a symbol of aspiration, well, it gets twisted into something else entirely, a moral, purposeless tyranny. So the Overman has all the eagle's power. They describe it as lightning and madness, but he has none of its purpose. His pride is completely cut off from the moral struggle you're supposed to go through to earn it. And this just perfectly illustrates the corruption. He uses his soaring power not to inspire people, but to crush the will to power in everyone else. It is the ultimate act of self-betrayal, using the symbol of aspiration to enforce total stagnation. And just look at the world he builds. The real eagle thrives in those regions where it was hard to live. The corrupted eagle, he gets rid of them. He creates this sterile, hyper-advanced, but emotionally dead world.
He just flies high above it all, a tyrant enforcing mandated safety, making sure no one ever has to struggle or grow ever again.
All right, now for the serpent. Its subtle, earthy wisdom, the very thing that was meant to ground the eagle's pride, gets twisted into this sophisticated, manipulative form of control. So here's how this twisted logic works. The serpent's wisdom becomes the cold science of the miracle man mechanism, the very technology that created the overman. Its cunning isn't for survival, it's for mass psychological manipulation. By imposing a sense of meaninglessness on everyone, he removes the need for brute force. The whole population becomes content in their alienation, creating this perfect, self-policing system of control. And this is the serpent's absolute masterpiece of corrupted cunning, the false memory implant. To stop the scholar's human conscience from ever rebelling, Mr. Sinos implants a completely fake history of decades of heroic, moral struggle. The overman genuinely believes he earned his power. This foundational lie makes sure his entire existence is tethered to denial, making him the perfect weapon against human aspiration.
So, what's the endgame here? What does all of this lead to? Well, it's the final verdict on Mr. Sinos's cosmic wager. Did denial really win?
You know, when Zarathustra first warned everyone about the last man, this was the crowd's response. They begged for comfort over greatness. So in a really terrifying way, the corrupted overman is just giving humanity exactly what it asked for.
His final act is to roll out the enforced last man state on a global scale. He uses the corrupted eagle's power and the corrupted serpent's cunning to engineer a perfect utopia of apathy. He removes all conflict, all risk, all struggle. He creates a world of happy, sofa-bound citizens who want for nothing and strive for nothing.
And just like that, the cosmic wager is settled. Mr. Sinos wins. His cynical bet is proven right. When given the choice, humanity picks the safety of the comforting lie over the terrifying, chaotic, and difficult path of freedom. Denial beats affirmation. Game over. Which leaves us with a pretty unsettling question, doesn't it? Mr. Sinos wins by betting on the comforting lie. But in a world that's so full of pain, is guaranteed comfort the real lie? Or maybe the lie is the belief that we should even want a terrible, chaotic freedom in the first place. I guess that's the wager we're all still making, every day.